Hi, Matt here, speaking to you from my house where we are socially isolating, or what my highly introverted friends would call Christmas. And the world seems to be changing faster than we could even have imagined last week. If you're like me and you're used to a very comfortable existence, these are strange and unsettling times. As a church, we can't meet in the normal way, but as leaders, we hope to send out stuff like this every day for as long as it makes sense to do so. Somebody once said Christians should have a Bible in one hand and the day's newspaper in the other hand. In other words, know your reality, know what's going on in the world, but also not know what God says, because it will give you all the reassurance you need in life. If you only watch the news and that alone, you will end up stressed and anxious at the moment because of what's happening. And Jesus said some words that I want to share. And remember, he didn't say these things in a theology lecture. He addressed an audience that was mostly peasants who had far more reason to be concerned about survival each day than we do. They were dependent on crops succeeding season in and season out. They had Roman occupation, and still nobody was hoarding all the mayonnaise. But this is what Jesus says in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 6. Yeah. Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you'll eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you'll put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? Yeah, you are. Which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life? So what's Jesus on about? He says, don't be anxious about the daily things you need to live, food, water, and clothes. And these are not trivial things like worrying about you have enough entertainment for a few weeks at home, or how the football season is going to get finished. I am concerned about that. This is the stuff you really need to live, the sort of stuff you might be starting to worry about now. And Jesus says, don't worry about it. But how and why? It's not that he says some weird mystical spiritual stuff. It's very down to earth. He says you do need all these things. You do, but they are not the point. He says your life is more than the basic things you need to live. He makes the focus not on maintaining your existence, but on your value. So this is really practical. He says anxiety is undone by looking to God and seeing your life as so significant, so vital, so important, that not only will God provide for your general needs, but that doesn't even need to be your focus. You see, if you have great value to God, you can be reassured he will provide what you need. He always has. And to be clear, Jesus never says that bad things won't happen to you. They will. They do to everybody. And the likelihood is that in the coming weeks, many people will experience pain and sadness. As a church, we need to do what we can to support each other and the wider community through this. But how much better will we do that with a perspective that says, one, God will provide for our needs, and two, even if the worst things happen, God can be trusted with the ultimate outcomes of our lives because he sees us as absolutely valuable. Now, please comment below with any thoughts you have. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like us as a church to address in the days ahead, please say so. It'd be good to interact around this in this very unusual time. I'm thinking of you and praying for you, and hopefully we'll see you soon.